Hi guys, how's it going? Now welcome back to Avery, and in today's video we've got a bit of all sorts to look at. We've got a few changes with the mule and the hybrid pairs, so we're going to have a look at those first. Then we've got an extreme weather event that occurred about 2 weeks ago. We're going to talk about what happened and how we combated that from what actually happened with it all, and then we've got a few teasers to give you for future episodes that are coming. We've got some new birds coming in the next few weeks, which is something to look forward to. We've had a few birds migrate to different bird rooms as well, so we're going to cover all of that in today's video. So beginning with the mule and hybrid pairs, you might remember that about 6 to 8 weeks ago we originally did the pairings for them, and that was 4 bullfinch hybrid pairs and a mule-in pair. So we've had to change it slightly. We've still got 3 bullfinch hybrid pairs. We've got the greenfinch bullfinch hybrid with the Siberian bullfinch hen. We've got the lesser red poll native bullfinch hybrid, and then we've got the clear white Norwich with the native bullfinch hen, and then so we've got a red poll bully pair, a greeny bully pair, and a canary bully pair. So all things to look forward to with those. We've had to make a change with the crossbill bully pair. The pair weren't getting on. They kept having a little bit of a squabble, and then other than that they paid no attention to each other at all. Now of course, having birds, you've got to be patient, and it's one of those things where I'm always trying to be patient with them, but that pair just really didn't seem compatible, and I felt that it was a bit of a wasted attempt. So rather than doing that, instead of a crossbill boy hybrid pair, we're going for a native bullfinch pair. We've got an outcross cock in who can go with that hen, and I'm looking forward to doing that. So we'll have a pair of native bullfinches next year rather than a pair of rather than another hybrid pair there. We've also had to make a slight change to a mule-in pair. So what happened is we'd sadly lost the goldfinch, which we got with the yellow Norwich hen. So I've took the crossbill cock and put in with that Norwich hen. They're both over-year birds, and I just think if they're going to click, then hopefully they will. I think they'll be more compatible than will with the native bullfinch hen. So we're going for a crossbill mule pair. Fingers crossed we might get something. Touch wood, all goes well, and I look forward to seeing how we do in the breeding season. And then finally with that, we if you may recall, we brought in an Arctic red poll a few weeks ago. Now I've really struggled to source a cock bird, and then with the hen also having the foot problems with the feet as sort of clubs rather than grips, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen with that. So I just thought, rather than wasting an Arctic red poll hen, if I can't get a cock bird for her, we're going to use her for something else. So what I've done is I've chosen a yellow Irish fancy cock bird, Irish fancy canary, and we're going to try for a mini red poll mule using an Arctic red poll. Maybe it'll be something different, and not sure, but I'm looking forward to the breeding season with them. We'll see how they get on. They seem to be getting on fine now, so fingers crossed all goes well, and come the breeding season we might keep that pair together. It's basically, if we can't get an Arctic red poll cock, we've got a backup rather than wasting her for a year. So I mentioned that we had a few birds that had migrated to different bird rooms, and some of those were the birds that we took to the previous show at the Lancashire. So we've changed a few bits around with that. So we had the Isabel red poll cock. He did well at the show. He came first in his class, but then it was just a case of I'm not looking to focus on them anymore. I'm looking to focus on my cobalt red polls, my normal red polls, and my cinnamons for this year. So any dilute mutations, then I've decided I'm not going to be keeping them this year, and we're going to make sure to focus on the darker birds, improve the colour, improve the type and all of that before we go to look to maybe expand out a lot more with mutations. So that's what it's looking like with those. So we had another 2 pairs of red polls go as well. So all good things there. The Siskins, well, the Siskin hen did well at the show, but she went and moved on with the bird that I paired her to a chap down south. So looking forward to seeing how they get on. And also we moved on a pair of Norwich. I got a pair of Norwich about, I got them about last year, summertime. We did obviously breed off them this year, not together. So it's just a case of now, I moved them on. I wasn't looking to keep any Norwich for this year, other than in what's in the mule in pairs. And then that's how it's gone from that. So we've had a few birds migrate over, but it's all good because we've got some new birds coming in. Obviously, you've seen over the past few weeks, we've brought in quite a few new birds. But this is to supplement now what we're focusing on. What we're focusing on for the shows is our red poles and our green finches. So that's the birds that I need to bring in, whether it be better quality birds or outcrossers, to make sure that the blood isn't too close. So for the red poles, well, I'm looking at bringing in about 3 pairs of normals. I've got 2 sources for them, so I'll probably get a trio from each source and mix them together, and hopefully that works quite nicely for us. And then for the green finches, well, they need a pair. We need a pair in ideally. Doesn't matter if the pair we get in are brother and sister, as long as they're not too closely related to the birds that we've got, then it's fine, because they're going to be mixing with the birds that we've already got. So some of the young birds we've bred this year, and some of the older existing birds, the flighted birds, they'll be staying as well. So we just need that bit of an outcross to make sure that the blood isn't too close when we think about the future, and we want to make sure that all the birds are healthy and we get the best outcomes possible from the pairings that we're doing. So that's a few birds as well. So we'd probably be about 3 pairs of red poles, a pair of green finches. We've got a bit of a surprise for you. That is a very exciting pair of birds. Now, you may recall that we brought in a pair of twites, which are here. Well, we've got another exciting pair coming in. They're not twites, and they're not something I've had before. I don't know if they've ever been shown on YouTube, obviously, as captive birds. Obviously, there's going to be like BBC documentaries of these particular birds. Can't say the name yet, but in captivity, I imagine there's very few videos to show that. So I'm really looking forward to getting them. I'm not going to tell you what they are yet. If you was in the monthly live the other day, I spoke about it. I've still not said the name, and no one knows other than the guy I'm getting them off yet. So make sure you follow along for that, and you get the notification bell on so you're notified when I upload a video on them. It'll be after Christmas, so make sure you're following along. For the overwintering process, the birds are getting on well as well. So we've got quite a few birds out in the flight. We've got canaries out there, we've got greenies out there, and we've got a bullfinch out there as well. So they're getting on really well. The cold temperature really doesn't bother the native birds, and not really the canaries either. When I bred canaries and kept had a whole, just an outdoor flight rather than all breeding cages, I used to have canaries there. The canaries were always the first one out when there was snow on the ground, and the canaries really enjoyed actually playing in the snow. Yeah, the birds from climates of about 30 degrees, but a -5 snowball fight of canaries, they're not bothered. So they're usually all right with that, and obviously we've draft proofed them, as I just mentioned, so the birds don't get exposed to any drafts. It's just the coolness in the temperature, and they're all fine. So it's great to see they're getting on well, and then the red poles are doing well. We've got the show birds as well, the show red poles, they're doing well. The greenies in the other shed, they're doing well. The show birds and everything else. So all's going well so far. Fingers crossed it stays like that, touches wood, and I hope yours are doing all right as well throughout the winter months. So then I spoke about the extreme weather event which we had happen about 2 weeks ago. Now, most of the UK suffered a rather large storm, very high winds, a lot of rainfall, and in some places, like here, it was snowing. Now, not only were those low temperatures because of the snow really making a difference, but because of the high winds, it was really cold. Now, I must say straight away, all my birds are fine. Everyone was fine through it. However, because of the high winds, it actually ripped the plastic off the front of the flights, which we draft proof them with in winter. So this is what I came out to in the morning after having a load of plastic ripped off, especially the bottom parts. I was out at about midnight or 1 o'clock with a load of wooden boards just leaning them against the front of the flights, trying to give that bit more protection for the birds so they didn't get too exposed to the high winds and the cold temperatures. Because although the birds are hardy, the native birds are hardy and the canaries are, there is a degree of which they will then begin to suffer from the cold. I don't want that happening, so I made sure it didn't. So then it ended up where I spent my Saturday morning, rather than sorting all the birds out in show cages and enjoying them, I ended up building as well, and we had to make a load of wooden frames to fix to the front of the flights to keep the plastic down. So hopefully your birds were all right as well in your bird rooms. I know that a friend had his shed roof ripped off, another guy had a roof tile fly through the top of his aviary, and another chap had a tree collapse on his aviary. So I got away with it all right. Touch wood, doesn't happen, but I know a few people did suffer, so I hope your guys' aviaries and bird rooms are fine and all your birds are all right from that. And then just to combat with those cold temperatures, which you do expect this time of year, I've also installed some heaters. We've got a heater in here and a heater in the other bird room. I don't bother with the flights because the flights it just isn't really a viable option. So the bird rooms, they've got a heater in now. The heater isn't used very often at all. The only time that heater is switched on is when we actually need, we've got very low temperatures in it. We need it to stop our drinkers freezing. Obviously, when water freezes, the ice expands and then it will crack your drinkers. I don't want to have to go buying a load of new drinkers because they're not exactly cheap, and also I'd just rather not waste them. So I'll just have a heater on in here, so when it's very low temperatures, don't get me wrong, if it's 0 degrees or -1, they'll be all right because it's insulating, it won't get that cold. But anything really below that, I'll flick the heater on to come on at about half an hour intervals 4 or 5 times in the night, just to try and keep that frost off them, stop the drinkers freezing up and stop cracking and stuff like that. So hopefully that's a tip you can use in your bird room as well. So then we've got quite a few more videos coming up over the next few weeks. We did a Zoom interview with Bernard Williams the other day. It ended up about a 2-hour long interview. So what I'm going to do is we're going to release that in about 3 or 4 sections based on the topic that we cover. We cover about 4 topics in that. We cover history of the hobby, showing, clear-pied greenfinches and hawfinches. So we're going to be having that come out over a few weeks, and then what I might do around Christmas time is I'll release the full episode, the 2-hour long talk, if that's something that you're interested in. I know a few guys would like to see that as well, so just something there for you to look at, and hopefully you can enjoy that as well. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to everyone who ordered the merchandise. We got the orders out last week, so massive thank you to everyone has, and if you do want to order some, then we'll be doing another selection, a round of orders come about probably January sort of time. You can see I've got one of my new shirts with my new designs on here, the OC Avery Bullfinch. So if you'd like something like this, then be sure to keep an eye on our Facebook page and our YouTube, and I'll make sure to tell you as soon as they're next available. And I am going to be getting some more designs worked on hopefully over the next month or so we can bring out more of a range of different opportunities for you guys to get something that you like. I don't make much money at all out of these. I want to make sure that you guys get something so they're not expensive either. And then also I'd just like to say a huge thank you to everyone who's subscribed and followed along the channel. It's just come to my attention that we hit 6,000 subscribers the other day, so massive thank you. If you can subscribe, please do subscribe down below. It means so much, and I just love to see that you guys are enjoying the content. And if you can as well, hit the like button, and that will help my videos get out to more people, so more people can see this amazing hobby and hopefully want to get into it as well. So it really does make a difference, so please do like the video if you can as well. But guys, I hope you've enjoyed seeing some of the birds today. A shorter episode today, I don't want to drag it along, so hopefully you've enjoyed seeing a few of the new bits. We've changed a bit of the mule and hybrid pairs. The birds are getting on well outside, so we'll see you in next week's video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.